I'm excited for this one. All right, we're going live in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Like I said, I'm so excited for this.
Oh yeah, same.
Finally, we've been talking about it for a while.
Yeah.
And look at us. Look at us.
Finally happening.
We're here.
Very excited. Thank you for having me, man.
Well,
Looking forward to it.
yeah, thank you for making the time to come out
absolutely.
here. Yeah, we've got a lot to talk about because your life is very exciting right now, right?
Trying
could
to
say?
be. Yeah, for sure. A lot of stuff to look forward to. A lot of stuff happening.
How do you like the setup?
Oh, dude, it's awesome.
Right?
Really like it. Yeah, the
We were talking off the podcast that you liked it, right? The whole.
Oh yeah,
vibe?
no, for sure. I love like the whole wall here and everything. Like it's super retro. Like love it.
Those vinyls out there.
Vinyl solid.
Yeah, especially a music guy.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm sure you appreciate it.
Yeah.
There's some people that come in here and they're like, it looks old.
No.
Vibe it up.
Yeah, no.
Telling me all this kind of stuff. But I'm like, appreciate it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is a collection right here. Like it's not easy to get this stuff together, you know?
Yeah. No, but like as you can see, I'm like smiling because I'm so excited. I've been like waiting for this because I've been like meaning to pick your brain about like so many things because personally, I've been listening to your stuff.
Awesome. Appreciate
and
it.
if you want to explain to those listening, to those that don't know, I'm sure a lot of people that are going to be listening kind of know a little bit, but if you want to introduce yourself and kind of
Absolutely.
tell us a little bit.
Absolutely. So, my name is Ash Behrens. I am a third year at UCI, currently business economics major, and I go by the stage name of Aquiles, and I've been making music for about 9 years now.
Awesome.
Yeah. So.
Well, you see, the thing is, I'm super happy that you're here because I'm a fan not only of your music, but the person that you are. Because
Appreciate it, man.
and I kind of wanted to get into that before we go into the music because that's going to be the most, right? So like for those that are listening on YouTube right now, like we're going to be talking about the music later on as a little tease people listen more.
Absolutely.
Or just skip.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about because you might not know, and I'm pretty sure because I mean we've known each other for a while now since freshman year.
Yeah.
Right? Since we pledged together and all that kind of stuff, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
But like one of the main reasons of why I pursued what I'm doing right now is of people like you, where like I saw like, hey, he's doing it, he's getting all this. I see you smiling.
No,
because
I'm like it. You're flattering me.
no, because it's true because, and I know I've never told you this. I'm telling you right now. That's why it's honest reactions.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's
but it was this. Like, I saw how hard you worked, and I know I always wanted to do something like that, but I never knew what. And as soon as I found this, and I knew that I wanted to do this, I went full force, and I knew I could do it because people around me, my peers, were doing the same thing.
I really do appreciate it. It means a lot that, that it kind of left a little bit of an impact. Back to kind of your point about how, with me, like, sticking around with, trying to become a familiar face, I'm actually glad that you picked up on that because for me, I've actually always been someone that kind of wants to be around. Like I like to be able to kind of like make myself familiar with everyone because one of the biggest things I've kind of learned is especially, wanting to work in the music industry, like wanting to, work with people and you just never know who's going to benefit you later on. Right. So it's like it could literally be the most random person. Like you would never know. And just by chance there could be a connection later on that you could that could end up like benefiting you in some way, like this, like now we're able to do this and like we're able to like I'm able to get a lot of like good promotion out of this and we're able to have kind of catch up on stuff and I hopefully I can help out with you on this radio show and everything, and you just you really don't know who's gonna end up being able to like influence you in your life. So I think that's super important. It's of course obviously being kind to one another, but also like making sure that you're leaving a lasting impression on everyone. And I think that's a super important concept to be able to like really like nail down in life.
For sure. Connections, super important.
Oh, yeah.
But it was never and I like that you touched on that. But I think the thing with us was it was never forced. Like it was in the back of our heads, like. Maybe one day we'll like connect.
Right.
But it was always genuine. Like whenever I saw you, it was like, a nice handshake, hug. I felt this like energy of like positivity and all that kind of stuff. So that's why it was easy, I guess, to always be like happy or like always say, "Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?"
I mean, it really takes practice with that too. You know, I mean, like connections are super important, but you also have to be genuine when you're making them. So it's you know, and it takes practice. You know, like the more people you meet, the more you'll kind of like learn. But I think it's a skill that I really have been trying to touch on, and
that's good.
You know, I appreciate you for mentioning it and pointing it out.
That's good. That's good. But that's a good start.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
No, but yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, if I wasn't a fan of you and your music, I wouldn't have felt comfortable enough, especially since I'm like starting out. I wouldn't want to, because I know that's a problem I see sometimes, especially with bigger people, that it's like not genuine and not like real like charisma and all that kind of stuff. But that's why like I was so excited about this, because now we get to talk. Now we get to catch up genuinely with like some real love going on and all that kind of stuff. So
absolutely,
we'll start talking about your music.
Cool.
I was listening to the
Three Breaths.
Three Breaths, yeah. The last one. It's got a little star on Apple Music.
Yeah, you noticed? I noticed that too. Yeah, no, it's definitely, you know, honestly, that one kind of came, it's pretty, the story with that one's actually really interesting. So I had originally started that song. It was, and it's kind of like the general thing with music, where it's like, when you're making music, you really just don't know what is going to end up sticking and what's not. So originally with a song, I didn't think it was going to go anywhere. Like I had made it in a studio in LA with one of my friends, and I kind of just started the idea. We were just like throwing around ideas or whatever. Literally September, of 2019. So a couple months ago, and I never really just got anywhere with the idea. And a lot of songs of mine like do that. You know, I don't usually end up going anywhere with them. So one day, actually, I had one of my friends that I had just met, Perry, actually, So, you know, Perry and then one of my roommate, Justin, I was kind of like showing them some stuff. That was the first time I'd met him, and I was showing him some stuff that I'd made and stuff, and I kind of pulled up that project of like half of it being done, and they were both like, I was like, yeah, this is just an idea, and they were both told me, they're like, yo, like, this is a really good song, like, you should finish it. So I'm like, okay, you know, that kind of gave me like the boost to kind of, the motivation to kind of like finish it up, and I kind of had this instrumental done, and I decided to take that instrumental, and I didn't really know where to go with it. I liked it. I didn't know where to go with it. I had a feeling a vocal, like some sort of vocal would be really good on it. So I had actually done
the song is like, it's like the best way I could explain what it feels like is like it's like floating.
Oh yeah. A lot of people have been describing it like
that
too.
But keep going. But I just so like people understand, we're gonna listen to the song pretty soon.
Cool.
Like right after this conversation, so they get a sense of it. But like, it's like it's those kind of vibes,
right? Yeah.
Just so they know. But
and that's also really important when you're making songs. You know, it's being able to kind of understand the vibe that you're going for. So I kind of knew there was a vocal that was supposed to happen. At the drop, is the way that I kind of made it was everything was kind of building up a little bit strong, and then at the drop it was kind of like an anti-drop. So it would kind of, all the instruments from before would kind of drop out, and then you would just hear like this really nice little like light melody. So I was like, okay, something else needs to kind of add on top of this. So I'm not a singer, and I'm a terrible singer. Like that's why I don't. Yeah, that's why I don't have any vocal like stuff.
I sing in the shower, but
yeah, exactly. But like you don't embrace it, acting like you can act on a track. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of the same with me. And so I kind of was like, whatever. Like I'll make the little vocal melody. I kind of wrote some lyrics down. I'm not good at writing lyrics either. This was kind of like the first time I was like, all right, I'll write like a little chorus, and I wrote it, and I was like, okay, well I should record it. Just so that people kind of get an idea of what it's supposed to sound like. So I recorded it, and then I auto-tuned my voice a little bit and stuff, and I kind of like actually liked it, and I was like, okay, this is actually pretty cool. Like it's very catchy, kind of like beat and stuff. So literally 30 minutes after that, my friends Alessandra and Emily, like they had wanted to come over because they're very musical people, like some of the best singing I've heard.
Emily.
Yeah.
Can you full names?
Emily Hicks, so Emily Hicks and Alessandra Kutri, both third years as well. Yeah.
When I was hearing it for the first time, and I had to listen to it in the car because I knew, like, I was like, if I'm gonna listen to it, I'm gonna listen on like my way to work,
right,
you know.
Right.
Especially because I knew I was gonna have you on like one day, So I'm listening to it, and when she started to sing, especially like when we listen to it, they'll understand.
Yeah, no.
But that like I was like, damn, that
I'm glad you liked it.
That is good.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. It kind of just came. They had come over, and I had shown them the little like drop that I had made, the drop chorus that I had made, and they liked it. And then for the next 3 hours, the three of us just sat down, and we were literally just writing lyrics. And I had never really been a part of something like that before.
Yeah.
Emily was kind of more like understanding of how to write lyrics, like she had done it before. And then Alessandro was also kind of like, he had done it, but he says like, oh yeah, like I don't normally do it. So it was kind of like the fact that all three of us were kind of like in a new setting. Like they had never recorded music before. That was the first time that they had ever like written and recorded music. This was the first track that they've ever had on Spotify and Apple Music. So definitely knew how to take advantage of their voices like before they like ended up becoming like famous without
me. You had to pay.
yeah, exactly. So literally 3 hours we like wrote the lyrics, and then we recorded the majority of the song. And I was.
And where's this all happening?
Literally in my bedroom in Newport. Yeah. We literally I have like a little bedroom studio. Awesome. Emily literally lives right like down the street from me, and Alessandro like just drove over, and we literally just like they just came over, and for 3 hours we were just in my bedroom just working on this.
Awesome.
And it was just like it was really cool hearing it all kind of come together, because I had worked on 2 songs with vocalists in the past, but they had done the lyrics, or they had kind of like done their own like rendition of it. So it was kind of cool to be able to sit there, kind of have like the vocalist there, and we like throw ideas back and forth. So and we literally were able to bust it out and like bust out all the vocals in like 3 recording sessions.
Nice.
And literally just worked on it for like a month, getting like the vocals right, and then doing all like the little like nitpicky things, and it came out. I'm very happy with how it came out. It ended up being one of like my favorite tracks on there.
No, my favorite for sure.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. That was a cut.
Yeah.
That was a little cut right here. We got the song ready.
Yeah.
We got the song ready.
After that,
you guys are in for a treat. Like I said, it feels like you're floating. And I don't know, I don't know how you're gonna take it, but like I can hear it at Coachella dancing in the field. I am not kidding. Like I appreciate it, dude. Like I feel like I could be like
vibing to it,
like having a great time.
Appreciate
it. So this is
3 Breaths, featuring Alessandro Cutri and Emily Hicks.
By
Aquiles. Yeah. By Aquiles.
All right. 5.
Did you want? I'm drowning now. Can't touch the ground. Can't breathe until you tell me how. Wake me up from this crazy dream where you took control and you got a hold on me. What did you want from me? Put your spell, and you took control. Now I can't let go. What did you want? 'Cause I'm up all night, I can't try, 'cause this feeling now is just way too loud. So I take 3 breaths to clear my head of you. Yes, said I stop, I can't get out. I've had enough, it's just way too tough. I've done too well, I won't stop just for you. shut my, cause this feeling now is just way too loud. So I take 3 breaths to clear my head of you. Yes, said I stop, I can't get out. I've had enough, it's just way too tough. I've done too well, I won't stop just for you. Cause I'm up all night, I can't shut my, cause it's feeling now, it's just way too loud. So I take 3 breaths to clear my head of you. Yes, I stop, I can't get out. I've had enough, it's just way too tough. I've done too well, I won't stop just for you.
There you go. My goodness. I don't know how to follow that up.
Yeah.
Wow,
no.
dude. Insane. Now they know what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Floating.
Exactly. Yeah, they got the idea now.
That was
of what we're
3
gonna talk about.
breaths.
Yep.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it. Means
wow. All right, man. We were talking a little bit while they were listening to that, but I wanted you to kind of tell them, because it's EDM, right? But I wanted you to tell them what, like, specifically would you call the type of music you make? Is it like fluid? Is it, because I know there's a big thing now, especially like now with music coming up. There's not really a genre to it because like a lot of it's like mix and all that kind of stuff. But what would you describe your music, or what's your
like niche?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So for me, like one of the biggest issues that I have had was being able to answer that question. And I had a feeling that I had, like, one of the things that was holding me back from being able to actually release anything for a while was because I didn't have the answer to that question.
Okay.
And so I kind of just like started to really put things together, and it's like and kind of realized I kind of put this in the explanation of my Instagram, and actually what the reason why the EP was named Decisions, because that's the EP name, Decisions. The reason I had called it that was because ever since I started making music, I was always so like critical of what kind of music I was making, because it was like I couldn't answer that question. I was like, okay, but I'm making like trap, and I'm making house, and I'm making like chill stuff, and making future bass, and it's like, what am I making? Because that's the thing. I feel like I'm a pretty diverse artist, and I make a lot of different types of. I listen to a lot of different types of EDM. I make a lot of different types of EDM, so I always felt like I had to like choose what kind of style I wanted. So the 4 songs that I had made on this EP. The first 2 I would categorize as future bass, and then the other 2 I would classify as more like chill, kind of like house music, and or I guess you could also like, I got a lot of inspiration from like I don't know if you know the artist Rufus Du Sol and like Lane 8. Like those guys were kind of my inspirations in terms, or a lot of like inspiration came from those songs. So in terms of what I like to listen to specifically, I don't have a very specific one, or what kind of music I like to make. I don't have a specific genre. I kind of just, at this point, I kind of realized, and I said that with the whole thing, like my decisions don't have to be inhibiting me from trying to release more stuff.
For sure.
Yeah, it just has to be, my decisions have to be making me progress as an artist. And, at the end of the day, really, when you're making music, it's whatever sticks to the wall. It's like you're throwing darts at a dartboard hoping that you get the bullseye.
You're saying off camera, off air, you're saying that what you liked was that everybody liked a different song, or it wasn't just one favorite song.
That was honestly
that's the best thing, and I can see why you like that now.
Absolutely. And honestly, I really actually was more surprised on that reaction, because again, like that's the thing, like you would usually want to hear a project and hear some sort of like fluidity, but I don't. I mean, there's kind of a fluidity to it. I try to make it as fluid as possible, but the fact that I've been hearing, oh, this person likes this song, this person likes this song, this person likes this one, it's really nice, and I think that's the whole point. I'm every song is going to affect someone in a different way, and I'm really happy that it's doing that.
That's
and
awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool to see
That's like
feedback.
The best way I can relate to that situation was people still ask me now, like, oh, what's your podcast about? And it's, or like, oh, what do you talk about? And I'm like, dang, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I never knew, and I still, like, same thing, I don't know how to answer it, but I know the idea I want. Like,
that's what matters.
Yeah, like, I know what I want, and I had told you where it's like, I want them to just listen in to a real conversation. You know? Just two people having a good time, catching up, talking about their passions and all that kind of stuff, and they just get to watch, you know? They get to, whatever they're doing, whether they're in the car, at school, or like driving to school and all that kind of stuff, or like sitting in the toilet.
Right.
Whatever they're doing, they're having a good time, and they get to smile. They get to learn something new. They get to support you. They get to support me in any way they can, and yeah.
Absolutely, that's the best feeling. The other thing that I always describe when it comes, you know, and again, I'm sure you can relate to this, is like the reason that you're doing it, or the reason that you do podcasts, the reason I do music, is because I enjoy it. You know, the music that I make, I release it because I like it. And some people, you know, like sometimes like I see like online, or like I've heard from people like, oh yeah, like why do you listen to your own music? Like, you know, it's like, it's weird. And I'm like, no, yeah, it's because I think it's good. Like, why would I make it? Why would I release
put something out? Yeah,
exactly. It's the same thing with you. Like, why would you, like, you're doing a podcast, you're doing it with some people that you think are interesting enough. Like, you're doing it because if you didn't like doing it, why would you be doing it? Period. You know,
that's true.
Yeah, and that's I think that's a big problem with you know, with industries like that. You know,
when that's lost.
Yeah,
and especially now, and I think with the new generation, people see it a lot more.
Oh yeah,
and people can point it out.
Yeah.
A lot faster, because as soon as people see like that, it's not. I mean, some people sometimes like there might be a day where I have a bad day, you know, like where I'm super excited, but maybe I'm like sick or something, or like I'm not just out of it. But I'm always happy. Like as soon as this, like I'm 110% and I'm ready to be
it's
here.
your escape. It's kind of your way to be able to forget about everything else, you know. Yeah.
Where do you want to like see yourself? Like what's that goal? Do you want to become that Drake where it's like talk radio and all that kind of stuff? Or like, where do you want to see yourself? Like a TikTok.
Yeah. Right.
I feel like you should go to TikTok.
Dude, okay, you've been reading my mind, because I've low-key been trying to like find some things. Cause like, not even like joking around. Like, TikTok is a very big thing right now.
That's one of the questions of like where I was gonna ask you, like, where are you promoting your like what platforms are you putting your music on? Because of course there's Apple, there's Apple Music, Spotify, all that kind of stuff. But like Don Toliver, dude, that guy's amazing. But I would not have known that guy unless the kids were
dancing in this. Roddy Ricch too. You know the box. That one's a huge TikTok one. Yeah, exactly.
That
that's a
whole
huge
meme.
TikTok one. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's that's the thing. Like platforms is a huge thing. You know, that's a huge way to be able to get your music out. That's why I want to start TikTok. Like, not even joking. You know, there's still like a lot of people joking around how TikTok, little kids or whatever.
Of course, but it's like.
It's up and coming. Like people are using it.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Some people don't realize that their Instagram feed is 90% TikTok.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they're laughing at things and you don't see that watermark of TikTok because they don't want to believe it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and a lot of people are starting to switch to it, and you know, and that's what's so cool about the platform, the fact that you can do videos and you can be like a performer, you know, like an actor or whatever in the videos, but you can also, there's like music is such a big part in it. You know, like there are people just like dances becoming huge on it, you know, and like I actually have one of my friends that he like he does like a little bit of like rapping and stuff, and he makes his own beats, or like he gets his beats and he like sings a little bit, kind of raps in Spanish from time to time, and he had like this one song that he put on TikTok, and there are people that have been doing like a dance. He's been getting like a dance done to it.
That's the most insane thing.
Yeah.
That like people, because it's a creative person put something out on like a creative platform where like there's some people that are just super creative, where they might hear that song and be like a dancer and all that kind of stuff, and they make like a super dope like that. Well, what's like a very big example? Drake, when he made that one, what's that one song? It was super popular, and they made that whole dance. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Dang, what was it?
I'm literally forgetting. I don't know.
But like that dance made that song super famous.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then
Or when people were getting out of the car and stuff.
yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah. You know, like,
like
there's
that
just,
was viral.
Yeah.
But he didn't do that.
Yeah.
But he was
Someone
that.
else did,
Yeah. He put that out.
Mm.
I mean,
happens all the time. It's crazy, and it's so cool that like people are able to do that. You know what I mean? Like I would, if someone like took my song and just like created a dance and that caught on, like
it's a
that's
appreciate.
that's like thank you so much.
Thank you
like
for doing
that's that would be something else. I couldn't even imagine that. You know, like it's just, but it's just like those kinds of like little levels things where you kind of see like your music kind of like reaching to different platforms and stuff. Like I actually, an example for one of like the biggest ones for me was I had released like a remix back my freshman year, and I didn't think much of it. I literally like made it like it was my freshman year. I still didn't feel like I was that developed as an artist. Didn't have speakers. I literally edited this song through my earbuds, and I just like put it out. I was like whatever, and then one day, I actually remember this so well because it was the day like my dog died. And I was like super like, oh my god, like my dog died. And then I was on YouTube.
Sorry about
No, it's but I'm saying, but like I just was on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was like looking through like some YouTube videos, and then I like clicked. I was listening to like a music channel, and I clicked out of this one music channel, and then but on the corner of my eye, I saw kind of like this little like, or I saw like the like the YouTube like a YouTube video there of like Imagine Dragons Believer, and then I thought I saw my name, like my artist name at the time, and I was like, what am I tripping or whatever? So I went back to that, and it was my name. So someone had re-uploaded my remix, and it was like in a day or like in like a week, it ended up getting like 37,000 plays. And I was like, whoa, like that's crazy.
That's
like
awesome.
That came out of nowhere, yeah. And then like now, like last I checked, I think it hit like 150K plays. But it was like that was the craziest. Like I was just going through like a wave of emotions with like this like tragedy, and then like this like guy reposting my song. Yeah, exactly. It was like just a roller coaster of emotions. But it was like really cool because like someone liked it enough to be able to repost it.
Yeah.
I was looking at the comments on there, and there's just like a bunch of people saying like, oh, this song's cool, blah blah blah, all this stuff. I was like, I made this with my earbuds. Like I didn't make any. I didn't think much of it at all, and it just someone liked it.
It just happens.
Yeah.
Like,
you literally never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, you never know what can happen with music.
But as long as you're prepared.
Yeah.
As long as you're ready for anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Jump on the opportunity.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's the thing. If one song were to take off and like, life were to just change super quickly, like you kind of just have to like some people aren't ready for that. Like I
know I'm ready.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, but even then, even when people think they're ready, they never know fully. But that's what you have to be prepared for.
Yeah,
you have to be prepared for not knowing what you're going into.
I know I'm ready because whatever happens, I know I got my family.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing.
Oh, yeah.
That I know, like if anything ever happens, blowing up or like whatever happens, I know I got my little stone. I got my tree trunk solid, my family. And just
that
that's where I'm gonna go to them. Yeah.
No, family's super important. Absolutely. And that's I think that's obviously they're like such a great kind of like outlet to go to if you're ever like if anything big were to happen, you know what I mean? And like let's say I like somehow we're able to be doing like Coachella and all this stuff, like and I've been and you hear it all the time with artists like going through like states of depression and all these like difficult traumatic times going through like touring and stuff.
Let's jump into that.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, like, there's this kind of this thing tends to happen with like geniuses in the artists, like in like music industry, where they start to get labeled like as like crazy or like for example, like the biggest one would be like Kanye West and that kind of stuff. Or like what's your take, like you keep going about what you were talking about?
So with that stuff, I can see there are people that are able to handle it and there are people that aren't. And there's no one way to do it because everyone's different, right? Yeah. Like it's like I've been able to kind of like I've worked kind of like somewhat close in the music industry. Like back home, I actually worked for a festival called Moonrise, and there like I got to kind of see like the behind the scenes. Like I met a bunch of artists and I met a bunch of people like in the very influential people in the industry. And the thing that you kind of like learn from that is like literally they're just people. Yeah. Like they don't want, like artists don't see themselves as like high and mighty, and I mean some artists do like they kind of like
I'm gonna suppose
there's some people that are, and like a lot of the times I feel like those people aren't the ones that end up staying very relevant very long because they don't really know how to stay down to earth. But sometimes that's just what the industry does to you. It just kind of like just changes your mind. And
if you don't have that solid, is that what
yeah,
you're saying?
yeah,
Like,
the
if you
kind of
don't
like
have
that like kind of solid ground. It's
You'll
you
float
can
away.
Get eaten, yeah, you'll get eaten.
It'll take
up,
3
yeah.
breaths.
Yeah, exactly, and you'll be gone. No, it's a really hard industry to work in, and there are people that just want to be famous,
Mm-hmm.
and but people don't understand how much goes along with that. You know, you will always feel like even if you're hitting, like, you have to think about it. These big people like Kanye West and Justin Bieber and, you know, like Billie Eilish, all these, like, especially Billie Eilish, like 18 years old, just turned 18,
insane.
gigantic. Yeah, like she's going through huge waves of adrenaline. Even if you're not, like, you don't need to be taking drugs to be going
to be
on
hopped
stage.
up to hear like billions of people.
Exactly,
scream your
like
name.
literally, but it can be like 3,000 to 20,000 to 100,000 people
That's
listening
insane.
to you. Yeah, like you'll be seeing like your people, like your songs, like millions of plays, like all these people listen to your music. Like that is a lot to handle, you know. And then at some point you can kind of be like, oh, like, what's the next step from here? Like, can I go any further with my music? And then that can scare people, you know, like where it's like, oh, have I reached the top? And you never know when the top is reached, so that's always what's in your head. You're like, oh, like, am I relevant anymore? Am I not going to be relevant? Like, how do I continue being relevant? And that can get super scary.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's what people live for. Like, that's their life. Music is their life. So if they're already not relevant or like hitting the peak, then where do they go? It's a scary thought. It's a scary thought, but you have to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
You have to be prepared.
That whole concept of like knowing how many people listen to you and like how that can mess up. When I would do the live only, I would have some guests on.
Yeah.
And the moment, like, they're like great people, super comfortable when we talk and all that kind of stuff. But as soon as like, because like when they come in here, it seems so relaxed. And it's a nice little studio and all that kind of stuff. And then they always like, oh, how many people listen? Like on the radio. And I'm like, oh, it's fine. Like, hey, it's just us.
Yeah,
We're having a nice conversation and we'll just let it go, you know? And I remember this one time, I told the person how many people roughly listen in the middle. Like, we're listening to a song, like kind of take a break just to drink some water.
Right.
And they're like, no, come on, like how many, like not that many people listen. Like, what are you like? And I was like, well, you know this. And then they were like
you threw the number out. They were like, whoa.
And then I was like, all right, we're back. You know, we're back on KUCI 88.9 FM.
Yeah.
I have and then they're. Yeah.
Froze up a little bit.
And I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Cut to another song again. Yeah, but it's because like hard. Sometimes like, and that's like that little thing of like not knowing or like that freaks.
Absolutely.
Like when you know that many people are listening to you.
Yeah, even like it comes in small forms too. It doesn't need to be 3,000 people for like 100,000 people in front of you. Like it can be. You thought that there's more people than you expected. Like that's already just crazy in itself, you know. And it can be good and bad. Yeah. It can be good and bad. Yeah.
All right, man. Yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing we talked about what I could kind of sense out of you of that passion and like energy and all that kind of stuff. But I was wondering if at any point through we're 30 years now.
Yeah, 30.
If throughout I'm guessing you've been making music. How long have you been making music?
Yeah. So I've actually been DJing since I was in 7th grade.
Oh wow.
So that's 9 years now, something like 8-9 years. But I've
you
been
had
actually
those middle school parties.
Yeah.
You
already know I was throwing out. I was killing it at the 7th grade little dance. Yeah, no. I started picking it up then because one of my good friends had started picking it up, and my dad was actually a DJ when he was younger, and he was actually very successful with it. Like he was in his teens and I think he finished right when he turned 20. But I mean, he made really good money off of it. Like he was every weekend, like 2-3 times a weekend that he would have parties, and he had like 2 trucks that he would just pack all his stuff in with his friends, and they would just like go and just party all weekend. That's awesome. And yeah, and he saw it as a business, you know, like that was just a way for him to make money. But you know, and that's kind of where I started off too. Like when I was in 7th grade, I was actually making like, you know, I was doing like parties and stuff. Yeah, exactly. Like I worked with the school when I actually DJ'd an Italian embassy once.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I did like something for that once. I did a school dance. So, you know, I did like random little parties here and there, and it was really cool. You know, I made some good money off of it. People knew that I was DJing, and it was always really cool. And I liked that. I like being able to kind of give like the energy to people. And I never really thought about making music until my freshman year when I started kind of like really getting into EDM, because I got into EDM like when I was in 7th grade, like early 7th grade. I was listening to like Skrillex, Dead Mouse, you know, like all these.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. It's
Dead Mouse and Skrillex.
Yeah. Like you heard them somehow too at that time, you know. But I was listening to them like heavy, you know, like with their albums and everything. And the big one that kind of took me off, Avicii, was a huge inspiration for me. So I listened to him a lot. Like when Levels came out, like the day of, I had heard that, and my friend showed it to me, and I was like, oh, this is like a banger. And I 7th grade me like jamming out to it with my Beats headphones, like going to school every day, like listening to it on repeat. And it's just like that kind of started everything off, you know. Like freshman year was really like a big kind of boost for me, I think, in terms of that. So that's why I started picking up music, like trying to learn how to make music. And it was hard. It's not easy. It's not an easy thing to pick up, in all honesty. Like, and I don't say that to scare people away from trying, because I am always willing to teach people that are passionate about it. You know, like no matter how hard, because it's hard, but I'm always willing to help. So pretty much my whole entire high school phase, I was really having difficulty making stuff, and then my senior year.
This like you're talking about creating music.
Yeah,
now,
creating,
right?
like actually
not
like,
DJing. Not
DJing. Yeah, making. Yeah, exactly. Like producing.
Yeah.
Like I started producing or trying to produce music my freshman year of high school. Like I had bought a keyboard then. I downloaded the software and everything, and I tried, and I was like, what the hell do I do? Like I didn't know anyone else that made music. I was like 9th grade. My dad never learned that stuff, so like I was really on my own there, and it was really intimidating. But I really liked music. Like so much. Like I listened to it all the time. Like I literally had my parents, you can literally ask my parents, like all the time I had like my Beats headphones on, always. Like even now, like I've gotten so used to having my earbuds in that I forget that I have them in sometimes when I talk to people. Not even AirPods, just like wired. They got my regular like wired ones. I was like,
yeah, why are you flexing?
No, definitely throwing out the flex there. No, but yeah, you know, like I have them in all the time just because I'm so used to it. And so I had always listened to music, so that's kind of what always pushed me to try to continue making it. And that, you know, I was shit, dude. I was not good.
Beginning?
I was not good.
Was there any time where that fire, that passion, like faded? Yeah. Okay, I'm guessing it never died out, because I mean
it did.
But like, was there any times where you're like, you know what, like I'm gonna take a break, or like I don't know if this is gonna happen. Like
there was a big one actually that happened. It's actually funny that you mentioned that, you bring it up, because I actually don't talk about this with many people. But so my senior year of high school, I had actually tried to throw like my own event. Okay. It was kind of like a charity thing. I was very against like talking about it like before, but now I'm like I'm fine. I tried to throw like my own event, and it didn't work out. And kind of when it didn't work out, I was telling myself like, oh, like I've been working so hard for this, because at the time there was actually a big transition, kind of to give some like explanation to that. So I had originally started making music. I had lived in Saudi Arabia for 4 years, starting from 6th grade to freshman year, and then freshman year. That's a little that's good. Little thing to throw in. It's
good context.
So there's the context of that is I had started there. That's where I had started making my music, and the country itself is a very it's a very, you know, like everyone kind of knows like what goes on there, but you know, very religious country. Okay. So especially with music and kind of starting off with that, it was a very like weird thing to start out. Like taboo-ish. Exactly. And it was like like even with my friends, like no one else that I knew DJ. So I started there, and then I had moved my freshman year of high school, and I had moved to Baltimore, Maryland, and that's kind of where I finished my high school years, and I did not like it. I did not like it at all. Yeah, it was a very difficult transition.
I remember you telling me that. And So like I was like, Baltimore.
Yeah. Not many people would expect that. But so I was out there, and I really didn't like it. The vibe just it did not connect with me. I was a very social kid, social kid, and when I moved there, that I wasn't able to use that skill. Yeah. So that's actually a big thing on why I pushed my music, because I would, you know, like I would have issues with trying to, you know, get to know people and stuff, and I would just resort to music to kind of tone everything like out. Listen to my music, not have to worry about it, and kind of like my escape. So then, but through that time that I was living in Maryland, I would always try to get like little gigs. Like I wanted to DJ homecoming, or I wanted to do the prom, or I wanted to like do another homecoming for another school. I wanted to do a house party, and nothing ever seemed to work out. Like, I don't know why. I was just like, I would always ask these people, because it worked out so well when I was living in Saudi, and I was able to get these gigs left and right. And now I moved to here, and no one wants me. Like, I'm willing to do these things for free, and no one wants me to do it. You know, I just want to be able to do it. I enjoyed it so much. And so that's the thing with this event. I tried to throw this big event that I had ended up trying to do, and kind of like out of the blue, it didn't work out. And at that point, I was like, why does nothing ever work out? Like, I'm really passionate about this stuff. I'm not able to work on music and be able to make music. Like, it was really frustrating, to the point where for like, I would say maybe a month or two, I completely stopped DJing. I stopped listening to EDM completely. Like, it was very weird. Yeah. Wow. It was just a complete like turnaround. I was in, I mean, I put my laptop away for a little bit and was not. I'm like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to do this.
And how old are you right now?
I was at the time I was 18 actually, or I was turning 18. I was 17, about to turn 18, like a month before, and I think at one point I kind of just I put away the DJing for a little bit. I was like, all right, like I'm not gonna worry too much about that. I need to try to work on my music, because that's always what I wanted to do. Yeah. So I picked it up, and then the big one, like, I had kind of come out with one, like, I worked on one song one day that I was like, I would just pull out the laptop, and I was like, whatever, like, you know, like, I'm going to try to see if I can get this emotion into the song. And just one day I kind of sat down in my basement, and I whipped out a whole song, and I was like, whoa, like, I've never done this before. Like, this is like the first one. I was like, whoa, like, this is something here. I was like, it's crazy. I was like, and I was showing my friends, and like, my friends were like, yo, this is cool. And I was like, whoa, like, what's going on? Like, it's actually happening. So I ended up finishing that song. It took me half a year to finish it. I got a vocalist on it, and it's still out, actually. It's on Spotify and Apple Music and everything. It's called, it's one of my first songs. It's, like, but it was like, I'm still pretty proud of it. Yeah, it's called Every Now and Then. At the time, my alias was jprig, so you can check it out. Every Now and Then by jprsn. You can find it it's still on all platforms. And that was kind of like the first one. I was like, okay, yeah, this is cool. I put that one out. And then, I mean, that's kind of how, that was like the little dip that I had. Yeah, and then, but things slowly started picking up there, because I had made a remix. And
that making that song is what kind of got you.
Oh, yeah. That's what kind of started everything back up.
But that kind of mentality of where like you were at a low, but you turned to what you wanted to do, what you wanted to do, and that was
threw me right back up.
I mean, since you shared such a nice, like, kind of personal story, one of the reasons why I kind of went full-fledged into this was, I've always wanted to do it and everything, but and to be honest, and I haven't talked about this ever, was like recently I had gotten out of a relationship that in any way, whether it ended good or bad and all that kind of stuff, it dipped me in the way I am, where like you could see like I'm like high energy, right. Smiling, happy and all the time, and it kind of made me dip and get in this kind of mentality that I've never been in before. And what I turned to was, one, I mentally and for my health, I need to talk to people. Why not start doing what I've always wanted to do and get people that are interesting and I get to talk to? And I've had my family on before and all that kind of stuff, but it was that little dip of like negativity and like the lowest I've ever been, but finding something, because like I knew it was gonna pass, but I knew I didn't want to be there, and getting out of there was like the best thing I could do for myself, and turning to what we love to like get us out of that little lump is that thing that I feel off of you of like where we're kind of like
connected in that way. No, I totally I see exactly where you're coming from. And that's the beauty in it, honestly. Like with any of these things, like,
and that's when you know it's real.
Yeah, exactly.
When that thing could take you out of that negative spot, or that like I don't know anymore. But you know what? Let me dive into what I know or 100%. What I love to do. Yeah,
I totally agree. Yeah, it's where you in the moment of like when you're most uncomfortable, like like naturally anyone is going to try to be the more comfortable with, you know, like that's naturally what you want to be able to do. And to be able to like channel that into something, like you channeling it into like these podcasts, being able to talk to people, and me being able to channel it into my music, I think everyone can have something like that.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of people that have difficulties in their life, and they kind of just like suck it up and live with it. And I think that in itself is very difficult to do. And you know, I applaud people for anyone that's able to get out of that just through doing that. But I do believe that everyone can find something that'll make it easier. You know,
and whether that's, you know, hitting the gym for most people, or
exactly.
like
it can literally be anything.
Yeah, any
like
passions that they have.
Yeah. You never know, and then you never know where it could take you.
Yeah.
You never know where it could take you. I think it's really important. Obviously, it's really important for people to be able to pick up something that will, you know, help them emotionally and anything like that. And why I'm always willing to help people when they say that they want to learn how to make music, because you know, even if you have no experience, like, but you show the passion, like it's completely possible. I mean, I did that, you know, and I taught myself, and you know, that's something that I kind of take pride on. But I'm always willing to help other people because I know it's difficult for me, so I want to make it less difficult for other people.
That's good.
And if it helps them, then you know, I did my job.
Yeah,
I did my job. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You got a little story out of me too.
Yeah. throwing a little back and forth.
Touched on it about, we were talking about how, like, the Instagram and how many times it got reposted and all that kind of stuff, how many people were sharing it, and I just wanted to like how much love you're getting from people here at UCI, and like it's like so awesome to see. And like the people that I know too, like, would come up to me and like, hey Joel, like, whatever you're doing, it's super cool, like I listen to this, or they tell me a joke from the podcast,
right.
and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. But you're getting a lot of love, and I think that's so cool, and I think that's like awesome to see, especially here at UCI, like supporting each other and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you for realizing that. Yeah, no, I really love like the support. You know, even if it comes.
Yo,
in, like,
UCI is awesome, man.
Yeah. People are really dope.
Like there's
some really, like, in all honesty, in the beginning I had my skepticisms, but I kind of grew to really like find a love for it. The people, especially, like, you can find some quality
genuine people.
Yeah,
here.
you can find some quality people. Like that's like what you were saying, like the people that are showing like the love to this stuff. Like even you know, even though I'm not getting millions of plays, you know, like I'm totally fine with it. Like there are people that genuinely are telling me like they're telling me completely genuinely like they like it. They add it to their plate. They're not doing it just to hype me up. They're doing it because they actually like it. And it's like you can tell when people are bullshitting. Like, and so it's really nice. Yeah, so it's nice when people are like, yo, this is sick.
Yeah,
like
real.
I'm showing this to my friends like it. Like there was actually this is a funny story. So my friend Perry, that we talked about before, he was in Gateway, and he was like one of my other friends had asked to listen to his music, like on through his like Spotify, just listen to the playlist. She started listening to the music, and then out of the blue, she like tapped Perry. She's like, yo, what's this song? Like, this is a really good song. Like this is probably my favorite that I've heard so far. And it was a song I made. It was Yellow, which is on the EP.
Yeah.
And she heard it, and Perry was like, no way, that's Ash's song. He actually he made it. Like it's really good, whatever. And she was like, no way, what? That's awesome. Crazy. Yeah. So then she DM'd me. She was like, yo, I just heard it. Like I was like, just completely by chance. Yeah. She, like of all the songs she heard, she liked mine. And that was like the coolest thing. She hit me up. She's like, she randomly went heard it, and she was like, "Oh, this is so cool!" Like
that's awesome.
That's always like the best. I like those little things. It's again like back to the whole thing.
Those small, or like that person where it's like a random thing, and that person might not think it's anything, but like for someone that's like starting out or like creating something, like that's that little push. That little thing.
It's what gets you going.
Yeah.
It's what makes me want to continue doing
my brother had told me that for like a second, it was like a small little, like, I was like, man, not that many people are watching, you know, like, and stuff. Like, I was like, and I was walking, you know, and then my brother comes up to me and says that they had just gotten out of the mall area. They went bowling and stuff, and they were going to their car, and that a couple friends that they knew, that they kind of knew me and they kind of knew them from high school, that they were walking, like a random group of like kind of people we knew were walking by them, and then they're like, oh, hey Joseph, hey Yitzhak, like, hey that story about so and so, like, that was hilarious, the Tinder story that I did.
Okay.
I put up that little kind of teaser on the IG of like
right.
how I got catfished.
No,
freshman
right,
year.
yeah, I remember seeing that one. I remember seeing that.
They're talking about it, and they had
They found
it.
that.
Yeah, they
way.
they told them about it, like, yo, that story about your brother like getting catfished,
Right.
hilarious. And when they told me that, like I was like, but inside I was like,
Yeah,
oh, that's so cool.
No, it's nice when it comes in,
Yeah.
like you don't have to force it.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best when you don't have to force it. It's the best way.
I'm hoping that I hope people watch it, because this is, I mean, I gotta like trash on my brothers or anything.
No.
This is a really good podcast.
No. I'm enjoying it too, man.
Yeah,
I like to
time.
be able to. No, I like to be able to share this. Whenever anyone that whenever you're talking about someone's passion, they're always gonna go. And so the fact that we're getting like an hour of just being able to talk about this, like, of course I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna give you everything. Just things that I've been thinking about.
Yeah.
Talk
about sharing.
Mm-hmm.
You did, and this is when we were planning and all that kind of stuff, and I saw this on Facebook. It got shared, and it was this kind of documentary thing that you did on with Anteater
so
TV.
So my friend, my roommate Ethan Jovis, he is an incredible like videographer.
Yeah.
And like seriously, like one of the dope, like he's gonna make it. Like simple as that. Like you can only say that to so many people. Like he is unbelievably gifted with this stuff. And so he had actually been in my freshman. He had been in my freshman year dorm, and I had met him. We made music, or I made music, and his roommate and I, or his roommate, who's now my roommate now, also made music, and he was a videographer, so we just like connected real well. Yeah. He had a little project that he was part of Anteater TV, and kind of like their last project that they had to do for the thing was just a creative thing, whatever they wanted to do, like UCI based. So he had figured, he's like, well, I've known these guys for the last 3 years being in college. I should do a video on what them as musicians are like, or what it's been like the last 3 years being at UCI as musicians. And, so he made a documentary about us, my group JPEG at the time. Yeah. Or, I mean, we're still together, like we live together and everything. Exactly. We're still super tight, and, we do events and stuff from the side. So he decided to do, a JPEG documentary. And he had taken just clips of us literally from back to our freshman year. And like, cause he's collected that stuff, and you kind of just see us from the beginning of our college experience to the end.
Which is, it's amazing.
Yeah, he did.
It's
incredible.
Really good.
Yeah. It was really cool to see back.
I'll put it like a link.
Yeah. That'll be perfect. Yeah, that'd be super sick.
Cause it is. Awesome. It's really good.
Really well made.
Really well done.
Yeah.
You said it was Ethan?
Ethan. His I don't remember his Instagram handle from the top of my head.
We'll throw it in somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll throw it in somewhere.
I'll send you all the stuff afterwards. But he's absolutely incredible with his stuff. Like he also makes just like his own videos on the side, like 1 minute videos on Instagram, and it's just he's so cool. That's awesome. so cool with he started doing that around the same time
You did too?
I started making music, so
that's awesome.
He kind of has the same experience under his belt.
Yeah. We'll do a little hot take right now.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Get people excited.
Let's hear it. Yeah.
Because we've been chilling.
Yeah.
Get stories and all that kind of stuff. A little
inspirational, motivational. Yeah.
I want you to give your hottest take of an unpopular opinion you have on festivals.
On festivals, okay.
Like Coachella based, or like something that like everyone else likes, but you're just like done with it, or it's just something you just
it's hard.
Do not like.
That's very hard. I like the festival scene, man. This is a very difficult question. You got me thinking here.
But like something that like it could be like small thing. Like what's an unpopular opinion that I've heard? I don't know. Things like that. I don't know. Like I like mustard.
I think I have. Yeah. I got something. So I think just with the fact that like music festivals are becoming super big, and like especially like electronic music is, in my opinion, I think electronic music is the fastest growing industry. So the fact that that's becoming so big, I feel like, because I've been to some big festivals, like I went to Coachella, and the other big festival that I went to was a festival in Europe called Tomorrowland,
I've
you've heard of it?
been wanting to go
Yeah.
since like 7th grade.
Yeah.
Since middle
So
school.
I went for
Wow, that is awesome. Which
Yeah.
one?
Tomorrowland 2017 in Belgium.
In Belgium.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that's
So I
awesome.
went there, for my as a senior trip with a bunch of old friends.
That's awesome.
And so I had gone, and kind of like the thing that I really had picked up from, being in these big festivals and just even small festivals and stuff, like there are a lot of people that aren't willing to adjust to what the festival scene is. So it's almost becoming too mainstream. A lot of people say Coachella is becoming very mainstream.
Yeah.
People are there for like the hype and the
Yeah,
clout
yeah.
and all that stuff. And I do believe that there is
Like a section.
Yeah, exactly, a
of
section of
people.
that.
Yeah.
It's not so much that it bothers me that that's happening, but it bothers me that there are people that turn off festivals or turn off the idea of it, or are trying to make it into looking like that's what festivals are about. And I don't like that. I think because for me, festivals, like my first festival was I was a sophomore in high school, and I was Moonrise. It was Moonrise 2015. That's was the festival's name. And the one thing that I loved about it was the fact that you were able to go. Literally, no one gave a shit about what you were doing. Like I've seen some crazy stuff at festivals. Like there are some crazy.
I went to
people at
Coachella
festivals.
once, and I can second that.
Yeah.
There's some crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and granted, like, the festival scene is obviously known for the drugs and like all like some pretty intense stuff. And me being 15 years old, seeing that stuff is a little bit crazy. But you also kind of have to understand that it's not always about that either.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
no.
and so there's so many different aspects of festivals, and people are able to like take their own. Like for me, I don't do the drugs. I don't do those kinds of drugs at all. I don't like that.
And I know exactly what you're talking about, because that's what I kind of realized. I've never been to any festival. I was so blessed for my first festival to be Coachella.
Yeah.
But that's what that's kind of like what I took, where I was like everyone else, because I would look around and it's like, yeah, okay, some people are like doing that whole thing, like drugs and all that kind of stuff. But then there's some people that are just drinking, and then there's some people that are just having a good time.
Vibing, like enjoying their own time. Yeah. Some people that like to get like fucked up. But it's like whatever. That's what you want to do. Like that's the whole point of festivals.
But
like,
it's so like free.
Yeah.
It's like a Disneyland.
Yeah, for adults.
Yeah,
for
it's
adults,
like Disneyland,
absolutely.
because like you enter, no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
But it's just have a good time. However you want to do it, man. There's music playing. Have a good time.
Yeah, exactly. That's it's the coolest thing. I like what I love how, like, on top of the music, like they're just, especially with other festivals and stuff, they're starting to integrate so much more stuff. They're starting to integrate like artists and more of like visual productions, and just like it's developing into such a bigger community, and I love seeing it. But again, back to that whole thing where it's like I don't like when people believe that there's only, like, in terms of like the actual festival, there's it's starting to become something that it isn't becoming. It's like what you said, there are many different aspects to it, and maybe that's one aspect, but there are other ways to do it too. Like for me, like my first Coachella was last year, and I was very naive to think that I didn't think it would be that crazy, because I went to Tomorrowland and I've already been to a big festival and blah blah blah. Super naive thought. It was one of my the best experiences of my life. I went with such a great crowd. I did not see one like influencer or one artist. I did not care about that. Like I was there, had a great time with some friends, and one of the best experiences of my life. Yeah. It's what you make it. It's what you make it.
Coachella, man. There's this weird incident, or this weird encounter, where I was in the middle. I was with a group of friends and all that kind of stuff. But there's always that time where it's like that certain time where, hey, I want to go see this artist, but I want to go see this artist. Hey, we paid so much money, let's just go see whoever we want. We'll meet up later.
Oh yeah.
So, they wanted to go see someone. I forgot who it was, but I wanted to go see, because I fell in love. I don't know if you know her, Princess Nokia.
Haven't heard of her.
Oh, she's so good.
What kind of music?
She's a rapper. She's a female rapper.
Cool.
From like New York kind of vibe, all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
Very hype.
I'll have to check her out.
Love her. So I was like, I knew no one was gonna. It was like in this like off stage thing, but I was like super excited to go see her. So I broke off to go see her, and then after that, I was gonna go see Miguel.
Right. Okay.
Miguel.
Yeah.
You
gotta see
her.
that. Yeah.
You gotta see her live.
yeah. Miguel. My God.
Insane.
Miguel live.
And I was gonna meet a friend there.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go see. So I go to Miguel, and then the friend I meet at Miguel, was like, oh, I don't really want to go see that person, but I was like, I want to join the big group already.
Yeah.
For like get ready for the main.
Right.
Because who was playing? It was gonna be Eminem. It was like the last day.
Okay.
I think it was that day.
Eminem was playing that year. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That was that one
awesome.
with Beyonce. Eminem.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That was crazy.
So I go, but I end up going to the main stage and like I'm looking for people, but I'm like I'll find them later. So I'm in the front. I'm by myself, kind of just vibing, just having a good time and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, after that song ends, I'll go see them. But I was like, I love the song. I don't know what song was going on, but I was having a good time. And this person comes up to me from behind and taps me on the shoulder. And he's like, I don't know if he was like kind of drunk. He didn't seem drunk, but he like tapped me on the shoulder. He's like, you're him. No way. And I'm like, turn around. I was like, oh, this guy's just like fucked up.
Like on
or
some
something.
drugs. Yeah, like on some sort of drug.
And he's like, oh, he's like, hey, I don't mean to like put you on the spot or anything, but like, I know you're like trying to be all low key. And I was like, oh, and I was like, I'll play around with this. He's just, he's fucked up. Like he doesn't know what's going on. I was like, yeah, man. Like, and then he was like, yo, but, can we get a picture? Like, can my wife take a picture of us? And he's like, yo, dude, you're like, and you want to know who he thought I was?
Yeah.
You know that one boxer on Twitter? He's young. He's a young boxer.
I would need the name.
He's like a good-looking young boxer.
I think I know who. I think I know who you're talking about.
Like girls love him.
Yeah. I think I know exactly who you're talking about because now that you mention it, I could see similar. I'm forgetting the name. I don't know.
Dude. Yeah, I forget who it is, but
Yeah, no, I know who you're talking about now, and I can see.
And I'm sure the people know.
Yeah.
Who we're talking about,
right.
But he's like this young.
Yeah.
And
so he thought he was you. That was you.
He said his name. I forget the name, but he was like, yeah, and I was like.
And you just took a picture.
And I remember looking at him, and I was like, okay, just one.
And then just like I just played it off.
I turn around and I'm like this, and you know what I do to sell it?
Yeah, they put up the hand.
I put the fist up and I was like, yes, and he was like,
awesome.
oh yeah. And we get the picture.
Perfect.
And everyone's looking like, oh, what?
Who is this guy?
Yeah,
like,
I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna go. And then he was like, thanks.
Acted like you were like,
enjoy the whole
That's
thing.
Awesome.
So funny.
That's
I
awesome.
wonder if that guy ever like realized.
Yeah. Like look back, he's like, who the hell is this that I took a picture with?
So funny.
No, I feel.
But
that.
That's that little Coachella thing. I just want to throw that in. That's funny.
No, that's the thing, Coach. You never know.
Yeah,
like
it's a vibe though, dude.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I don't know if I'm gonna go this year.
I'm going this year.
You're going this year?
Yeah. After last year, I realized I like it way too much.
I feel like in the end, I might go. I might end up going.
Oh yeah, I mean, you should. Dude, Travis Scott and Frank Ocean. Like, I knew one of them was gonna go, but the fact that both of them that's crazy. You know, I just think it's like a really good just lineup overall. Like they did a really good job with like balancing out like R&B, rap.
EDM.
I'm
not gonna buy my ticket until later.
Don't. Yeah. Get it for cheap.
Yeah, but also like, just so I know for sure, because my friends are getting like a house.
All
that kind of stuff.
Like, how much do I have the money to like?
Like I'm not like committed yet, but when I'm committed, I'll do it.
No. I mean, hey, you only live this age once, So it's always good to try to.
And there's gonna be a lot of people going, so maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm convincing you. Yeah, right now, get the ticket. Let's go on air. No,
yeah.
It'll definitely be a good time.
Coachella's crazy.
Coachella is crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Has there been any times where you've had like a crazy moment yourself
at festivals
at
or
venues or like that you performed that you've like?
Yeah. Okay. It was kind of like a smaller thing, like, but it was more for me.
2, 1, Joel, cut that shit.
Yeah.
All right. You're telling us a story.
Yeah. So. If it's ever happened to me, like a crazy
at a
venue
experience, if you have any like.
Yeah, which one was it?
There's a specific thing after you tell the story that I want to get into.
Yeah.
And that's the girls.
So
the groupies.
No, yeah. So the kind of like the thing that was really cool for me. So I got to DJ Aldrich Park After Dark.
Yes.
At
I know
UCI.
that.
Yeah, I've done that the last 2 years. You after that. Yeah. I've done that the last 2 years. And it's just a super cool experience. The first year was really neat. It was really cool because I 2 stories. The first one, after the Aldrich Park After Dark 2018, my roommate and I, or Ryan, he's the guy I DJ with, he's part of jpeg. He and I were walking back to our apartment in Cornell, in UTC. And I had like my DJ set in my backpack, you know, we're just like walking, like
Yeah,
after
yeah.
like a good set, you know, like everyone's still walking back home, like getting to the dorms and everything. We're just like all happy because it was like such a good time.
Yeah.
Like we just performed in front of 5,000 people and it's super cool. And we were just walking back and then some guy like taps me and he's like, yo man, like, can I get a picture with you guys? And I was like, oh yeah, sure, no big deal. Yeah.
Awesome.
So we took a picture with this random dude. Doesn't ask us for our name, doesn't ask us for our Instagram handle,
Uh-huh.
just wants a picture. And he's like, thanks man, you guys did a great job. And I was like, oh, appreciate it, bro. And then we just walked away and we just like,
That's
yeah, we were
awesome.
just like, oh damn, like one guy just asked for a photo with us and he has no clue who we are,
Yeah.
but like he's just
wanted it.
yeah,
He was like,
he supported
Save
it.
it.
Yeah, it was cool. It was like whoa, that was like the first photo that
That's
I've had to
awesome.
take. Yeah, so that
I
was
remember
cool.
seeing you after that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but I remember I wanted to make it a point because we were saying bye to everybody, and I wanted to make a point.
2018 or 2019?
2019.
Yeah, this past year. Yeah.
And I remember.
Was it with you and like Jack, or was it with you
Yeah,
and Arthur?
all of them.
Yeah.
And I remember coming up to you and I was like, "Yo, good shit, man." Like that was
I
good.
appreciate it, dude.
Like that was awesome.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that this year is super cool.
Yeah.
Just because it was like, I mean, since we we broke the attendance record, it was like 7,200 people this year, I think,
That's awesome.
which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And like, that's super cool to have been in front of that many people and to know that I've been in front of that many.
Do you have
people.
any scoops? Do you know? Do you have any scoops
like
of like concerts coming up and all that kind of stuff?
oh, like things that I have coming up?
Yeah.
So I don't have any like, so actually the big thing I'm kind of like planning for, I'm actually DJing ASU next week. So I'm at Arizona State University.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I have a homie out there that wants me to like go out there and DJ for an event that they're having. It's like they're during the syllabus week, so it's like kind of
Yeah.
you know, ASU's known for like it's a big
Yeah,
party
it's
school.
lit.
So I'm going out kind of like DJing like the first danger for them, and like
That's lit.
I'm
Like,
very
like-
excited for that. Very excited for
That
that.
sounds like fun.
Yeah. So I got
I
that.
need an invite to that.
Yeah. For
I'd
real.
be so down to
Yeah.
come down to
I'll
that.
see if I got some guest list access. I'll figure that out.
Yeah, that'd be lit.
No, yeah, it's yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to that one. That one's gonna be really fun. That's gonna be like the first. I mean, I've done college, like other big college parties before, but that's like, you know, like top party school. Like that's gonna be fun. That's
Awesome.
gonna be very fun. And yeah, no, I mean, other than that, I've just been trying to focus on making my own music, man. Like I you know, I like performing and I like being able to do that stuff.
It's the grind.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Mhm.
I just want to be able to get stuff out. You know, like now that I've released this EP, I want to be able to have
Yeah, people want more,
continue
man.
stuff. Yeah, exactly.
I
I
want
want to. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, no, I want to be able to have more stuff for people to check out.
That's good.
So I'm gonna work on that, and I'm gonna see and then you know the shows hopefully will come organically.
Yeah.
Looking
That's
forward to
awesome.
Yeah.
All right then, man. I mean, other than that, I don't have too much.
that. No, it's we covered a lot.
We covered a lot. We had a good time.
Yeah, no, it was a good time. Thank
That
you for
was-
having me on, man.
Yeah, of course, dude. Thank you
A
so
lot of fun.
much.
No.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Very fun.
And this is gonna be episode 5.
Sweet.
So I'm trying to get to like a lot episodes.
270. Like,
something.
yeah, have me back in like the 400th
Yeah.
episode like celebration.
I'm gonna have you back on for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And whether
Give
that
a
be
little update.
yeah,
Yeah.
A
Next time
little
I got
update.
something coming out, you know, let you know.
that'd be fun.
It'd definitely be
Episode
fun.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
30. 40.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure he's gonna be
sometime
back
in the
on.
future. Appreciate it. Man.
Do your little plugs.
Yeah, no, all right.
plug
So
away.
yeah,
Tell them what you got, man.
I got so Decisions EP is out now. 4 songs I've been working on for the last like 2 years. Really would appreciate some support. It's on Apple Music, Spotify,
Yes,
Sound,
sir.
literally
Yes,
whatever platform you use, it's out there. You can check me out on my Instagram at Aquiles.music. It's spelled AQUILES.music. You can also check me out, like I said, on Spotify, Aquiles Decisions. That's, you know, all my social media. Definitely got some more stuff coming up. You know, it's not the first project
Nope,
I got.
Not even close.
Yeah, so a lot more stuff to come. Really would appreciate it. If, you know, every listen counts to me.
Yes,
So
sir.
every fan, every person that likes it counts. You know, I appreciate any support. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for
Yeah.
listening. Thank you for tuning in. I didn't even plug my own show.
Yeah.
But
Gotta
that was It's About Time with me, your host, Johel Sandoval Franco. Again, thank you so much, man. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming
Thanks
on.
for having me, man.
He's
It's
going to be
awesome.
on in the future when we got something bigger and better. But thank you so much, guys, for listening. Same thing. Like, I appreciate all the support. Subscribe. It's free. So,
Support the man.
yeah. So support.
Support. Appreciate it. No, absolutely, man. It was awesome.
All right, guys.
Really good.
Catch you later.
Yeah.
And
Peace out.
that's it.